I don't know. Now I'm working. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I got stuck to introduce the concert because our chair is down there at the far end. She had an operation during the week, so she wasn't able to negotiate the steps. So I got stuck with doing it, but there'll be no word of Irish, unfortunately, because I wouldn't know my own name over the shop door if it was in Irish. So because of that, I'm going to hand you straight over to our MC for the evening, the Cavan man himself, Martin Donoghue, and he's going to play a few tunes himself on Myra to get the ball rolling. Thanks very much. Hope you have a great night.
I'm afraid of blocking Martin Murphy. Oh, that's their cause. That'll do, Grant. That'll do, Grant. Thanks very much. You're very high up here. Thanks very much, Mick, for that lovely introduction, short and sweet. And we shouldn't forget Martin Murphy, who's hiding here behind me. Give him a wee round of applause there. He's just after coming in from a 10-mile walk, believe it or not. Jesus. Last year he was on different tablets and he was doing different type of, but now he's walking. So he's in great form, so he's going to keep me steady on a couple of reels. Ed Reevy wrote the first one. A Cavan man, believe it or not. He went to America a long, long time ago and died over there, but originally originated outside Mudgebawn and wrote that lovely tune, Mudgebawn Chapel. But his wife had connections in Mayo, and one of the tunes he wrote was Shanavara. So we'll play Shanavara, not heard too often. And the other tune then, and I wouldn't like to be there on a night like tonight, is O'Brien's Tower. And it's there on the Cliffs of Moher. We often visit that. If you've been there yourself, the wee tower up there at the Cliffs of Moher is called O'Brien's Tower. And Paddy O'Brien from Offaly, he wrote this tune. So Myris, give me a wee bit of gutty here. And this is a special accordion. I'm just playing that now for the next month or so, especially in memory of a great man called Ian that passed away up in Belfast there a couple of weeks ago. And he loves me to play this accordion. It was his favourite accordion. Of all accordions I had, he loved this accordion. So if you hear a big foot saying, no, that's him tapping along. Thanks very much. That's as much exercise as I'm going to do for a whole month of October. But anyway, doesn't he look great? If you can't see him at the back, you can come up later on and touch him. But he's in this super fit zone at the moment, and he does stupid things like exercising, which is dangerous. And he doesn't even play golf. And he doesn't go into McDonald's anymore. I can't believe it. My best friend won't go into McDonald's with me. So he sits out in the car while I go in, and he watches me eat. But anyway, look at him, and he's also in love. Ooh. So, I don't know what tablets he's on, but I wish the fuck I'd get some of them. But anyway, the next man on stage now at the moment has just released a fantastic album. It's been talked about all over the place, and he's bringing the supergroup on stage here now tonight. Myra's a member of the supergroup. Martin's a member of the supergroup. And from Limerick, Sioban and Comhaltas, all the way from County Limerick, is with us tonight. Come on out, Sioban. Where's my Sioban, a member of the supergroup? And then one of the youngest members of the band is a man called Noel Battle. He's getting younger every year he comes here. Come on out, Noel. And the second youngest member of the band, even though he's got one of these little plastic things that he can go on any of the buses anywhere around Ireland, is Mick Foster. Come on out, Mick. He nearly has a shiny accordion as me. Just because Mick had his name on his... I was watching the old Sky show and Mick had his name on his accordion. I said, I want my name as well. So Noel's going to get it on his organ as well. So hopefully we'll be able to see it later.
It's on the back, Mark.
Here, Mick, you want to talk?
I should look at. Now we'll see how the game goes. We're going to start off with a couple of barn dances. The first one is called... What's the first one called, Siobhan?
Jolly Rove.
The Jolly Rove and Tar, they tell me. And the other is Dances at Kinvara. Right, oh be damn it. I had nothing a minute ago, and now I'm blown the head he is. Anyway, we're going to continue with Siobhan over here. She's going to play a slow air and go into a single jig. Siobhan was the leader of the Temple Lantine Ceili band that won the All-Ireland back in 2010.
Okay. Good Míle Maithagh. Just to put the slow air itself in context, I know Mick has reminded me before of the fact that many people remember it as the signature tune of, well, it was the Bells of Shandon of Ceili, well, not Ceili House, years ago.
She's too young. It was the signature tune of the ballad maker Saturday Night back in the 50s.
Right.
It wasn't even a bad thought at that time.
Okay. It's actually Slán Lamoy, which would have been it was a song, and the full melody as well as the words were put together by a poet from Croom called Andreas McGrath. He wrote the song having been banished from the town of Croom for what we would call illicit behaviour in a shebeen. It included drink and perhaps women. And after that we have it's a single jig come slide.
was Siobhan. Now we're going to move across to the middle here. This man has more All-Ireland medals than Henry Shefflin.
They're all lost, don't mind.
Henry has 10, this man has 12. Noel battle.
Chance playing two reels. The first one is one of Finbar Dwyer's, and the second one is Paddy O'Brien. I hope the two men, if they're looking down, they don't feel like getting sticks and kicking me and bait me out here after when they hear what will be played. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's why he has 12 All-Ireland medals. Now we're going to do a little bit of a drant on this particular song. I was listening to it for more than 60 years. And we had a very famous Ceili band in Westmeath years and years ago called Kieran Kelly. And Kieran had a singer with him from Tipperary called Brendan Hogan. And this was one of the songs that they used to do with all the Ceilis. It's called The Old Bog Road. My feet are here on Broadway this blessed harvest morn, but oh, the ache that's in them for the spot where I was born. My weary hands are blistered from work and cold and heat, but oh, to swing aside today through fields of Irish wheat. Had I the chance to journey back our own king's abode, 'tis soon I'd see the hawthorn tree down the old bog road. My My mother died last springtime when Ireland's fields were green. The neighbour said her waking was the finest ever seen. There were snowdrops and primroses piled up beside her bed, and Ferran's church was crowded when her funeral mass was said. But here was I on Broadway with building bricks by load as they carried out her coffin down the old bog road. A life so weary puzzle as finding out by man. I'll take each day for what it's worth and do the best I can. Since no one cares a rush for me, what need to make a moan? I'll go my way and draw my pay and smoke my pipe alone. Each human heart must know its grief, though bitter be its load. So God be with you, Ireland, and the old bog road. So God be with you, Ireland, and the old bog road. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We have a new CD out. It's called The Crooked Road, available in Mick Gunnan's above in Ratconrath and also in Rochford's in Mullingar. We're going to finish off now with 3 reels. The first one is called Dowd's Number 9, the second is Mulhair's, and the third is Miss Johnson. Thanks very much. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
you.
Oh, Noel, well done. Oh, lovely stuff. And don't forget, they also recorded a lovely CD and launched it this year called The Crooked Road. And it'll make an ideal Christmas present, so it would, for somebody you love. And even if you don't love them, give them it. But it might be out on the table. There's some of the CDs from the artists tonight. Nancy, who's here all the way from the west of Ireland, has her CD over. And, of course, the Fly Be Night album by Annette Owens and Brendan McCann, it's out there already as well. But we have a couple of local characters. They came across the field. They didn't drive. Willie Kavanagh on the banjo and Paddy Maguire on the buskey ceol. Give them a big round of applause. Come on, lads. Ta-da! Ta-da! Don't be shy, Paddy. They're regulars. It is a great event to have the concert opening a weekend, gone from a night event now to a 3-day event. And of course the music of Frank Gavigan is ringing in the ears of these lads. The great memories of playing and sharing music with Frank. So no better men than keep the spirit alive. Moira, Martin, and of course Willie and Paddy.
We're going to start off with a little hornpipe. It's Murphy's hornpipe I'm informed, so we'll do what we can with it. This time we're going to play 3 jigs, starting off with The Frost Is All Over, and the second one is The High Part of the Road. And we didn't know the name of the third one, so we asked Martin what it was, and he told us it was The Fart in the Bucket. Thanks very much, everyone. We're going to finish off with two reels, and they're especially for Packy Camel, if he's down there. Two Packy likes to play, so we're going to play them for him. Thanks very much, everyone. Will you give Myra and Martin a big hand here? Makes all the difference up here. Thank you very much.
Lovely music from the heart, and sounds like it's full of the passion, what we associated with the music of this locality. We're leaving Myra on the stage, and we have certainly one of our youngest competitors in the All-Ireland here tonight. And not alone was he happy to go home with one medal from the Fleadh Sligo, he decided he should go home with not 2, not 3, oh, feck, sure, we'll have 4 medals. No, we'll go for 5. In fact, he ended up with 7 of them. And a huge talented young lad, under 12 years of age. And he's just a little star. Met him probably about 3 years ago, heard about him. In Cavan, he turned up at a Sharon Shannon concert, and Sharon dragged him off the audience and says, get up here, get up here. And he went on to win the under-12 accordion this year, and said he'd win the banjo as well when he was there. So the rooms were beside each other, he might as well win that as well. And then he went back and won the melodeon as well. So we have a triple All-Ireland under-12 champion here from Edenderry. He told me he was from China, but I don't believe him. I think he's from Offaly, because he's awfully nice. And Mary's here, the mammy, she does a lot of driving the roads of Ireland. And wait till he gets out of Ireland. You'll have to get a jet or a plane or something. But anyway, he's a huge talent, multiple All-Ireland champion, travelled up specially to perform at the accordion concert as such, because there's a lot of accordion emphasis for Frank Gavigan. He's from County Offaly, from Edenderry. Put it up as loud as you can for Eidamar O'Connor. Eidamar. Woo, woo! Hey! Ta-da! Is that okay? You want to sing a song, man?
No.
Are you sure? And he was out on Facebook earlier there talking to his girlfriend, so don't tell his mother. Don't tell his mother. Mihal O'Reilly. Oh, that's some stuff, isn't it? And I was just working out, he probably about 7 or 8 years before he's old enough to win the Senior All-Ireland. So all around the country and around the world they'll be selling button accordions because that's some natural talent. And as well as the accordion, the melodeon and the banjo. And don't forget he took 7 medals home in total from Sligo. So a fantastic young talent. Where's he from? Offaly. And his name, not to be forgot, is Adamar O'Connor. What a star. Give it to him again. Well, we travel up from Midland country up to a beautiful part of the country beside Cavan. We share a border in County Meath. And we're supposed to have some dancers next, but they're not all arrived. So Mihal here has stepped in and said he will perform and dance at the same time. So what a talent for tonight. A superb musician, top class. Of course, he's been involved with lots of recordings and groups, All Ireland's solos and instrumentals, and of course as a family, the Riley family from County Meath, a huge talented family. And of course Mihal brings the best of the concertina music all over the world, both with his teachings and his recordings, and it's going to real treat here. Frank Gavigan would be very happy to sit back and listen to this man. Mihal O'Reilly.
Thanks very much. This thing, are we on? Oh, I want a bit of both. No, this is fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't talk into yours. That mic is the most worn mic in Westmeath. Well, I'm sure he enjoys it. Now, the last time I was here was at the dedication of the plaque in this hall. I was at the dedication of the plaque outside to William J. Mullally. So it's great to be back. It was raining that time too. So this is called The Rainy Day. Thanks very much. The first one, The Rainy Day, and I suppose Launching the Boat is the name of the second tune. Keeping in with the old water theme, I suppose. This concertina is a Jeffries from about 1890. So it's got a brain of its own. So you tend not to play for too long on it, because it can break. It broke once. I was doing this series of concerts and it broke once after a load of reels. And there was a review in the paper afterwards. And the review kind of said that the concertina knew when to stop. That kind of thing. So I had to stop in the middle of a reel with this kind of noise. And that was it, like. So since then, it's the concertina with the brain, you know? So it's pitched between B flat and B. So it doesn't go with pianos. Sorry, Moira. And it doesn't go with drums either. Sorry, Martin. Not even go with gold-plated drums. Go on. Anyway, these are, what do we do? A couple of jigs, maybe. The first of these is a tune that comes from the playing of Christroni. Christroni is about 90, I suppose, at this stage, and he still plays away on the concertina. He's from Bell Harbour in North Clare, and has played loads of music for decades. I don't know, you might have seen him. He received one of the T.G. Cahir Awards, I think, last year, maybe. So anyway, this is one of the tunes he plays. Thanks very much. Actually, the first two tunes are tunes I learned from Chris Droney. I don't have a name for the second one. The first one, I think he called it Three Little Drummers. But, as is the case, if you go to O'Neill's and find a tune called Three Little Drummers, you'll find it's not the same tune. So you have to have at least two, maybe three names for each tune. That's what he calls it anyway. It'll have to do us. The second one is that one. And then the third one is The Wandering Minstrel. Great tune. And this is a tune Joe Ryan used to play. Joe Ryan was from Ina in West Clare. He's a great fiddle player. And he spent a lot of time in England and came back to Ireland then, I don't know, sometime probably in the 70s, I'm not sure. Himself and John Kelly were great mates. And he used to play this tune. I think it's called, he used to call it, well, there's something about money anyway. If we only had the few bob, I think he called it the few bob. I'll have to think of something else to go after it. These are the joys of sitting on your own. You get to think as you're moving. Thank you. Thanks very much. The last tune is wonderfully titled The Smell of the Bog. Now, I don't know which bog it is or where it is, but whether it's a Dublin bog or a Midlands bog. Anyway, thanks very much. I'm going to finish up with a few reels, I suppose. Any requests? No? Good. First of these tunes is a reel called The Noon Lassies. I don't know if Noon was their surname or whether they just turned up at midday every day, but it's called The Noon Lassies anyway. And we'll try something else after that. So thanks to Mick Foster for giving me the shout to come and play for you tonight. It's great. Always the best way to travel on a rainy night. So, and it always rains here when I'm here. So anytime you need rain, just give me a shout, okay?
A lovely tour of the world of traditional music there, with gorgeous sources of tunes and lots of lovely interpretations. The great Mihal O'Reilly, one of the finest concertina players ever you'll hear and listen to, and what lovely performance here tonight, honouring the man himself. A great weekend in store. We're coming to the end of the first half. Give us a chance to stretch yourselves. Also give a chance for the ticket sellers, the highlight of the night. There's a huge amount of prizes to be won here tonight. There's a €100 voucher from Mileage Tyres. There's about 9 or 10 prizes in total. There's Crooked Road CDs, bottles of wine from Phil Jackson, Robert Try, the TD Mick Gunning, all giving bottles of whiskey. There's loads of stuff. And they'll be going around during the interval. But to lead us up to that, we're going to have our good friends from last year. And with more new faces tonight to finish the first half, the Bridge Ceili Band. And Eugene and Robert, two of the long-term members, will come out with lots of new faces. Lots of new faces. They're breaking them in early, so they are. Myra's helping, is she? I don't know what that's for. Is that a microphone on it? That's not Karen. Is that a microphone on it?
It's great to be back again in Milltown, Rathconrath. In many ways, the spiritual home of the Bridge Ceili Band. We have been coming to Milltown for many, many, many years, and before the bridge was ever founded, I remember as a very young fella coming here with the Sean Ryan Ceili Band back in 50 years ago, actually, 1964. And I remember having tea that night in the house where Johnny and Vonnie now live. It was an old school, I think. And meeting a very young Mick Foster, and little did I know when I met him that night that he would become so famous, Myra. And yeah, one thing I remember about Mick that night, I thought he had everything sorted very well. He was in secondary school, but he said that time there was no such thing as co-education. It was strictly boys to one school and girls to another. But Mick was going to a convent school, I believe, and there you are. Didn't do him one bit of harm. Are we all nearly ready? Okay. Now, we have, the Bridge are pursuing a youth policy, as you can see. Some of us are getting very near being let out to grass. And I'll just introduce you. The first one on my left is a guy who has been in Milltown many and many and many a time, Robert Deason. Would you give him a big round of applause? Beside Robert is a young man playing the accordion with the Bridge for the first time, but he played the piano with the Bridge last Christmas in a lovely concert in Portarlington, and his name is Diarmuid Faherty. Yeah. And next to Diarmuid, we have a student of Robert's, Mary O'Donnell. And next to her, someone that needs no introduction over here. I met Karen, actually, before she was born. I remember, I think I told this last year, I met Mary one day. I was adjudicating a fly in Mullingar, a Westmeath fly in Mullingar, and Mary was there, and she won the tin whistle competition that day. But she was heavily with child, as we shall say. And I was afraid, Mary plays, she's a very physical way of playing. Mary moves quite a lot when she's playing, and I was very much afraid sitting there that my skills as a midwife might be called into, but she weathered it anyway, and the lovely Karen arrived in due course and has been with the Bridge for well over 20 years now. Karen McCormack Gavigan. Yeah. And behind Karen is her brother Liam, a great drummer and a member of the Bridge for well over 20 years as well. And here beside me is the next generation of Gavigans, Karen's eldest daughter, Laura, a very accomplished concertina player. a new member for the Bridge tonight. We have the lovely Myra here, who is standing in for Patamara. And I'm Eugene Noel, and everyone knows that. Now, we're going to play us a few tunes anyway, and we're going to start off with one of the sets we would have played in the old hall. It's a set of 4 reels, and it's Austin Tierney, Music in the Glen, O'Rourke's, and The Wild Irishman. Hope you enjoy it. Okay, Myra, are you going to start the theme? Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, and thanks to the newcomers. You played like Trojans there. And okay, the second set we're going to play, we always in the bridge, we had a big fiddle sound. We usually play with 5 fiddles. Unfortunately, 2 of our fiddle players can't be with us tonight. They're teachers, and one lives in Mayo and the other lives in Athay in Limerick, and they go home at the weekends. I think they have affairs of the heart to be attended to, so the weekend isn't good for them, you know. But we have 3 fine fiddle players here, and the next set of reels we're going to play, we're going to start off with the 3 fiddles playing on their own, and it's a great old tune written by Ed Reevy, and it's called Maudabon Chapel. And then the heavy artillery will join them then for the other 2, Sheila Coyle's and Peg McGrath's reel. Okay, thank you. Okay. Now we're going to have a concertina solo from Laura Gavigan, and with the help of Moira, and she's going to play 2 reels, Larry's Favourite and The Road to Ballymac. Larry's Favourite was composed by Paddy O'Brien, the great accordion player from Tipperary. So, Laura Gavigan and Moira. Yeah. Fantastic. Wow. 14 years old. Isn't that marvellous? Yeah. Okay, we're going to continue with a set of jigs, and the first one is called Jocelyn's Jig. The next one is called Tom Hackett's Dream, which was composed by Owen Hackett from Tullamore, banjo player and a former member of the Bridge. And I don't know what the last one is. I think it's one of Frankie Gavin's. The what? The Traveller. The Traveller, it's called. Commercial Traveller, I'd say. Oh, so it's G, yeah. Okay, we're going to have a nice fiddle and accordion duet now with Mary and Dermot. And I think they're going to play two reels, the Sally Gardens and MacArthur Road. Wow. Dermot is 14 and Mary, as I say, she wouldn't mind me telling you, is 17. Great stuff. I remember one night we were playing somewhere, something like this, and we had a fantastic fiddle player called Tom Ahern, and Lord have mercy on Tom, he died nearly 3 years ago now. He died a very old man, he was 86. But like me earlier this year, Tom had just passed, or had just achieved 70, and I was introducing the band, and I just mentioned that Tom had reached the biblical 70, and I thought this was great. He got a good round of applause, but Tom was so upset, and he was very vain. He used to keep himself very well, and he thought he was still a young lad. He looked 20 years younger, but he wasn't one bit happy, so that's why I'm always a little bit nervous about talking about age. So there you go. We're going to do our second last piece now, and it's a couple of hornpipes. And the first one is called The Poppy Leaf, and the second one is called President Garfield's Hornpipe. Thank you. Give me an A there. Thanks. Thanks very much indeed, and again, it was lovely playing back here in Milltown, Ratconrath, and thank you very much for your very warm welcome and your appreciation of the music. And we'll end up with a set that we have christened the Milltown Ratconrath set, and on our CD that was released about 16 years ago, we have this on it, and we dedicated it to the Garritys, to Johnny and Joe and Vonnie, and all the great people of Milltown Ratconrath who have given us such a welcome all down through the years and have been of great support to us and are among our greatest fans, and they're among our favourite people. So it's the Tarbolton, the Longford Collector and the Sailor's Bonnet. These were recorded by Michael Coleman the best part of 100 years ago, and they're still played in the same order, the Tarbolton, Longford Collector and Sailor's Bonnet. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave you with the Milltown Ratconrath set.
That's a mighty job. The Bridge in great form, and great to see the young talent come along. Give them the round of applause, send them to the back. Okay, we're going to have about 15 minutes break. Time to stretch yourself and get our ticket sellers on. So we'll be back in our seats at 1:15, and we'll be ready to play. And we've Annette Owens and Brenda McCann starting the second half. So did you enjoy it so far? We'll come back for more. 15 minutes and we'll be back.